You're the one that you've been looking for. And I'm just here to remind you of that. I've created this channel to learn things and then to share them with you. Stop the recording because baby boy was going crazy. But with that being said, give me a second to light my candles back up. So in life there's... Are we recording? Yeah, we are. In life there's this is part of living in the physical reality. We sort of forget to remember. We experience sadness so that we can feel happiness. The descent of mankind, the fall of grace, the ego itself being the source of isolation, but you have to be cut off from source so that you can experience all that oneness has to offer from an individual standpoint. This is sort of where we're coming with the angle that we're looking at this from. That's not yours, sweet pea. Jesus Christ. It's just... Great, Atlas, you knocked my phone off the table. Now none of us can see it. Meditation is a phenomenal thing. It brings to surface a lot of the things that you don't want to deal with, but as a result you get a chance to deal with them. On the physical side, it restructures neurons, it increases neuroplasticity, which is the malleability of your mind, your ability to change your brain, in other words. No, don't pull that out, I need that. God, meditation is phenomenal, but I see these fucking, I meditated for 30 days and this would happen. Yeah, it changed their life. I get it. And actually, no, it didn't. Anyone who makes a video and it says, I meditated for 30 days and this is what happened. Oh my God, it changed. Yeah, unless you're fucking the 1%, meditating for 30 days straight is not going to do a damn thing for you. It'll give you a taste of what meditation is like. And here's what I want you to do. I want you guys to take meditation. Meditate for 90 days straight. Yes, 90 days. I know it's a long ass time, but if you don't have time to meditate for 90 days straight, then fucking find a new hobby, because this shit is a lifelong journey. It's not something you can do in 30 days. That being said, sweet baby Prince, you can't. With that being said, here's where you're going to notice what meditation does for you. It's not meditating for 30 days straight. It's not meditating for 90 days straight. It's meditating for 90 days straight and then stopping and then starting up again. There's something about that space. It's like a pulse. It's like a rhythm, back and forth, back and forth. When you engage in that rhythm, when you engage in that back and forth, it sort of sets up a realness to it. Now, this is along the lines of polarity and rhythm. Sort of, why do bad things exist? Well, bad things exist because they define us. We exist upon that which resists us. I walk on the floor because the floor has the ability to resist my feet. You follow? So, that's sort of like I was saying before, the descent of man, the fall of man. That's the role of the ego. The ego cuts you off from source so that you have this sort of experience of isolation, so that you can have an experience of infinity from your own unique perspective. And there are an infinite amount of perspectives, there are an infinite amount of egos, and yes, associating yourself with the ego, with the lens, is horrible and is the cause of all evil. The ego itself is not a bad thing, as long as we master it. Don't try to shun it. That's in a different video. You can check out my last one if you want to know more about the ego. Anywho, this whole thing where everyone's really, I think Aaron Dottie released one, I think Ralph Smart released one, some other entrepreneur released one. I've seen a couple now, and I'm guessing they're going viral because I'm seeing the notifications constantly. You guys, this whole I meditated for 30 days and this is what happened thing, it's not clickbait. It's useful if you want to know what meditating for 30 days does for you, but what's more useful, like I said, and I noticed this a few years ago because I haven't actually meditated for all of 2019. And I started this journey when I was about 20 years old. So from about 20 till now, I've meditated pretty much consistently for the past decade or so. Not crazy. I'm not meditating on a fucking mountain for 18 hours a day. You know what I mean? Changing my name to Sadhguru Bahamavashki Guru Dhamavav. You know, I'm still fucking Keith. You know, I'm not crazy about it. But I have been super consistent with it. But every once in a while, I'll take a break. For whatever reason, I'll stop. And then I'll start up again. And then I'll realize. I'll have that pulse. I'll see both sides. Right? And this is sort of why I tell you guys to meditate for a long time and then stop. Is because if you're not meditating your whole life, you don't know what meditation is like. But if you meditate your whole life, then again, you don't really know what being unmeditated is like. But if you do them both, if you root yourself in both, you have a real experience because you've met both sides of the coin. It's kind of like if you've only ever tasted green apples for your entire life. Say you die and in the afterworld someone's like, yo, what do you think about the green apples? Were they good? And your response is, they were good. I mean, I don't really have anything to compare it to. I had only green apples for the entirety of my life, but I guess they were good. You know, good compared to what? Compared to red apples? Never had red apples. Compared to Fuji apples? I never had Fuji apples. I don't know what to tell you, man. I've only ever had Granny Smith my entire life. That's sort of what I'm bringing to attention in this video is fuck. This is what 30 days of meditation did for me. But to do your own experiment, to really see how powerful meditation is, and not to take it for granted. Because like I said, right now I'm about 8 months without meditating, which is the longest I've ever been without meditating in about 10 or 11 years. Which is beyond me. These months just flew by. I mean, I had a newborn child, I have 2 jobs, I have a really successful band that I'm in, so I'm gigging and I'm going to rehearsals and I'm trying to raise a child and I'm going on family trips for personal time. Like I said, I have my YouTube channel, which takes a ton of time. I love it, but it takes a ton of time. And my Etsy shop, I'm constantly behind on orders on my Etsy shop, trying to play catch up. And then when I'm not doing shit, I'm like, fuck this, I'm trying to watch some Netflix. You know, I've been putting off the meditating because I haven't been wanting to sit still with myself because maybe I'm afraid of what will come up. And that's part of what meditating is. This video is not necessarily what is meditation and how does it help you. More so that if you're gonna live the human experience and you're really gonna live it, your role is to experience shit. And experience is fueled by differences. And those differences create a pulse. The on, off, forward, back, night, day, happy, sad. It's a pulse. Also known as a rhythm. Like music, for example. Music is a rhythm. Frequencies are a rhythm. It has a crest and a trough. You know, it's up and down, up and down, up and down. That creates life. Well, life as we know. Life in the third dimension. Now, you don't have to stay in the third dimension. You can ascend. Of course, the goal is to ascend. But while you're here, fucking live it. You know what I mean? Live it. Why are you meditating? It makes you feel good, okay? It makes you feel good compared to what? Have you meditated for a long period of time and then not meditated for a long period of time and then started again and then realized, oh shit, that's right. These are the sort of thoughts I have when I meditate. These are the sort of thoughts I have when I don't meditate. This is my general level of well-being at any given point in time when I meditate. And this is not. So, I guess I urge you guys to sort of the goal is truth source, the goal is happiness, the goal is perfection, but you're not going to encounter those things all the time. And if you were to encounter those things all the time, they wouldn't mean anything. They wouldn't mean anything. You know what I mean by that? Like the example I gave with the apple. If you were only to ever experience happiness forever, happiness wouldn't mean anything to you. It's a theory of mine, but that's why I believe oneness or God or whatever you want to call it went inward via thought and created everything that you guys see. And the reason was to experience shit. Because oneness is one thing eternally. It's not even infinity, it's beyond infinity. Because infinity sort of, what's the word? Infinity implies a sense of time, right? Because infinity is time everlasting. But time is a construct of the all. And the all is not subject to time because it created time, right? So it's not subject even to infinity. It's even beyond infinity. That's what we're dealing with. It's one thing, unfathomable thing. And to not have a so unfathomable experience, it has to create entities like you and I. Individual, limited entities. You don't have to be human in every existence, but I guarantee you, as being a human, you appreciate things like time. We're here for what, fucking 80 years on average or something like that? It's not very long. It's a blink of an eye. And because of that sort of limited being, the turmoil that we go through, when we do experience love, when we do experience joy, back to the topic of this video, when we do experience a long period of meditation, we really fucking sink into it. We go, oh my God, I get it. This is why. This feeling of love, this feeling of elevation, this feeling of joy, peace, and serenity, these things are magnificent, and this is what I live for. I love this shit. And the further the pendulum swings to the left side, right, to the dark side, it must be equaled by the right side. Because rhythm always compensates. Rhythm always compensates. I've mentioned this before. If you're new to my channel, then I'll break it down for you guys again. The beggar will never get to experience the ease of having the finest living and dining at their fingertips. The beggar will never be able to experience just the best of the best within the blink of an eye. No. But the rich man will never experience the satiation of the poor. Right? You put a $1,000 3-course meal in front of a poor person, and then you put a $1,000 meal in front of, say, Elon Musk. Fucking guarantee you that the beggar will be in heaven with that meal. The poor man will be the most thankful person alive, while Elon Musk, he'll like it. He'll give you his thoughts on it. He'll say it's one of the best meals he's ever had, but it'll be like, you know what I mean? It's a drop in the bucket for someone who has everything all the time. And that's what I mean by rhythm compensates. Life compensates. It always compensates. You can't have it all. At least not here. So, that about wraps it up. If you guys are new to the channel, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Huh, sweetie? Tell them to subscribe. Tell them to subscribe to the channel. Say, you guys made it this far in the channel, you might as well subscribe now. Huh, sweet baby prince. Thanks, you guys. Keith, checking out. See you in the next video. Love y'all.